And we're live. Hello, and thanks for tuning in. This is the SuperBoss Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Luc Tran. I'm joined by my two co-hosts, Harrison Ngo and Ian Eatwell.
What's up?
Uh, yeah, what we talk about what's going on in the nerd world, ranging from movies, comics, to video games. If you're a new listener here, we'll start by talking about what we've been up to lately, anything we've been watching, what we've been playing, and then we talk about what cool news we've heard in the past week before jumping into our main topic, which today's topic is going to be about video game betas. So without further ado, what have you guys been up to this past week?
It's been a long.
Harrison.
It just feels like a long week. I just want to say that. I don't know why. That's at least for me. But in that long week, I've been able to play Final Fantasy VII. It's
The
great.
remake? Did you
Yeah, the
beat it yet?
remake. No, I've been chipping away at it, but it's like in whatever free time I got, I've been just working at it. But it's it's long.
Have you
It's
heard
really.
about the ending controversy?
I have. I've been avoiding that.
Okay.
Yes, I've avoided that just because I want to experience it. Kind of. I've
Because
seen
I
part
know
of it.
we had talked about
Like changes.
Final Fantasy VII remake a while ago. We had
Yeah.
talked about like what we kind of expected for a remake, and so
Mhm. Yeah. And
once you beat the game, I really want to hear what you have to say about that.
yeah. I mean, and so far I like it a lot. Because we did talk about how like there'd be like, oh, how much change is too much, right? And so far, I think the changes or the additions they've made is pretty cool. I think it's fine for what it is.
They're not gonna have anything huge until the very end of the game.
Yeah. And I think I've only heard okay, so all I've heard is like the end is indicative of like how it's gonna move forward. That's all I've heard. Uh,
Wait, well, like move forward as
I
in
have no idea, man.
okay,
Yeah,
interesting.
that's all I know. Yeah, I've only heard that like from a few places until like I shut it off. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna avoid spoilers as much as I can.
Huh, okay. Like
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. That
and
that makes me curious. It sounds like maybe they are gonna like continue the story after or
cause
something.
wait, so this isn't like the full game. Like this is like
Yeah,
parts.
Ian,
This
do
is
you
like
know
part.
anything about the remake? Like, have you heard any news about it?
Not really, just that it
Okay,
came out.
it's not the full game.
It's not the full game.
It's coming out basically in
Uh,
episodes.
Hmm.
oh, wow, okay.
Did you play the original one, Ian?
A little bit.
Okay.
I
Do you
never
remember
beat
how
it
far
though.
you? Do you remember how far you got?
Uh, I think I got
Did you get out of Midgard?
no, I was just about to leave
Okay.
Midgard, and that's where I
The
stopped.
the remake that just came out is only in Midgard.
Oh,
So
okay.
there's still a lot that they
So
don't
it's
have.
all just like that first part of the game.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting. Well, that's cool.
yeah.
I
It's.
guess. I
I
don't know.
mean, we're given the. You're so excited, I can tell. But no, it's like I had a feeling like just playing the game. I was like, yeah, everything's gonna be in Midgard at this point, just because of like how how much detail there is. I mean, the graphics are definitely like really good. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, this is actually amazing to like look at.
it's pretty.
And I mean, let's see, I'm like how much have I played? I think the last time I checked my clock, I think it was like 10 hours.
Okay.
Uh,
So, are you having to? Do you know, Luke, if you're having to buy each episode, or is it you
yeah,
bought the game, so you're
I'm
getting
pretty
all the
sure you have to
episodes?
buy each episode.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah, like that's yeah. From what I can tell, yeah, yeah. You have
Mm,
to buy each one. I was trying to
okay.
remember if there's any special thing, but I don't. And I don't even that because I'm just trying to remember if if there's the special edition has something with that, but I don't think so.
Mm,
But I haven't checked just because I'm trying to avoid everything like the plague.
right.
But from what so far from what I've been playing, I like it a lot. It's really cool. I think from I'm trying to not say too much also because I don't know if you guys are even gonna play it or if you're just gonna wait until like the PC release comes out. But I think that's a year from release, supposedly.
I know everything what's going on with the current release, so
Okay. Okay.
don't worry about me for spoilers. I don't know if
Yeah.
Ian or the
No,
audience
I,
cares
I
about
mean,
spoilers.
I already know what happens, so I don't care.
do you?
Well, maybe not for like the new game, but I mean, if nothing's
Yeah.
like, if everything's pretty minimal until the ending, then we're fine.
Yeah. But I mean, from so far for me, it's just I like the combat so far. It's really cool. It still kind of keeps like elements of the old like the OG game, so it's like okay, you can't really. To me, there's not too much to complain. Like they still keep like like essentially they still keep like the time bar and everything. Like trying to think, man. I've been playing it super late at night, so there are times where I'm like, oh, it's just I haven't like absorbed it sometimes, but it's just really fun to play. I like the combat. The graphics are cool. So far, the story's fine. They add the additional stuff that they add. It's just I think it's nice. It expands on certain characters that they didn't before. Um, yeah, I don't want to give like I
Cool.
don't want to say too much just because I haven't played too much of it. In all honesty, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's really fun. Um, and then I also I think yeah, just playing a little bit of Destiny still with some of the peeps. And so it's really funny. Like my girlfriend and I, we've been playing Animal Crossing, but you know how you guys are playing Monster Hunter?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So do you remember Dauntless?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's funny because randomly I was just talking to her about it. She's like, oh, she was just looking at sales and stuff. I'm like, hey, there's this free game that we used to
Oh
like
no.
try out back then, and she was like looking into it, and she was like, wait, what kind of game is this? I'm like, it's essentially like entry level Monster Hunter. And she actually likes it a lot. She just never got to play it just because her sister's someone that was like super into it, and she
Yeah.
didn't really at the time she didn't have time to like play on the PS4 and all that. And it was, I mean, it was her sister, so she didn't want to encroach. And, but we started playing that, and compared to when it first came, or it was like the speaking, I think it was the beta too. Actually, now
Yeah.
that
It was open
now
beta.
it was open beta at the time too, and compared to before, I think it's much more fleshed out comparatively,
Yeah.
and
I
so
think
far for
I
Mhm.
think they got picked up by Epic.
They did,
So
yeah.
they had a huge boost in like resources.
Yeah, they did. So and you can kinda tell that it's an Epic game just with, like, the battle they have a season pass also, it's pretty much almost the same format,
Yeah.
but, I
Oh,
mean, for her, it's really fun to watch her play just because she's always just played Nintendo games exclusively, but she's never really played, I
Like an action game.
like an action game, like, even, like, when she started playing the Switch, she had to get used to, like, 2 joysticks
Oh,
essentially
yeah.
type because I don't think yeah, she's only played Nintendo stuff, so, like, a lot of it's, like, you mostly focus on, like, just 1 joystick.
mhm.
So, she was saying that she was hesitant on starting those kinda games, so I figured, "Oh, let's just try this. It's free, can't hurt. You kinda like Monster Hunter, so let's see where this goes." And so far, she likes it. So, I've been playing it a little bit as well, just you know, quarantine, got some time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's pretty much all I've been playing. What about you guys?
I've been playing Monster Hunter bit with Luke. Me and Luke got back into League, so that's been a time and a half.
ARAM or are you
No,
guys
well,
playing legit
usually,
games?
so when we're playing, I usually recruit Ian because my brother's playing.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Uh, Usually because it's my brother and then some of our other friends. And since we all live on like way different time zones, it's really
Uh,
the only game we get to play together. So I
okay.
don't play it because I like playing the game.
Oh, okay.
I am playing it so I can like hang out
Hang
with my
out.
brother and some of my friends.
That makes sense. I was curious.
They're also pretty long distance now too, right?
Yeah, my brother's 5 hours behind us.
Yeah.
Um,
Boy.
Dalton is
Dalton's.
2 hours ahead of us.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah,
So it's all over the place in time zones. So
pretty jank. Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense because I
yeah,
saw he said he was eating dinner. I was like, "What?"
yeah, but it's the game we used to play in high school, and so it's the game we play when we don't want to play a single player game. It's kind of the fallback, and so
Mhm.
since I don't get to see them as often, it's a fun way to pass the time.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah.
fun. That makes sense.
I played Battle Block Theater with
Ooh.
my girlfriend. Um,
Ooh.
That was fun. That's like a Behemoth game. The same people that made Castle Crashers.
You're right.
Yeah, it's. I'm starting to find because so I don't know if you guys have played it.
Yeah, I played it.
Okay,
I think we've all played it, right, Luke?
I played a little bit of it.
Like, okay, yeah.
okay. Well, yeah. It's like a party platformer thing, and I like it's entertaining
hmm
because like the narration and the story in that game is hilarious, but it's not very, I guess, challenging.
Right.
And
How
so,
far are you though?
we're about 4 chapters into it.
Yeah. I don't
So
remember
like,
how long.
You
I
should
think
just
it's like
play
6 chapters or something like that, maybe
Mm.
more.
Ultimate Chicken Horse. You can make it as hard as you want.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That game I do enjoy. I think I don't know. Maybe because that has more of a competition thing.
Yeah, it's not
I like
just
that a
to
little bit
get
more.
through the
Cause
level.
Yeah.
isn't like Battle Block Theater like there's like people make maps too?
Yeah. Yeah, they do. I haven't tried that out, and I probably
Yeah.
won't. But and there is like a versus mode too, I think, in that too.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just started to like realize it's not like I've also been watching like a lot of Mario Maker.
Mhm.
Like I see that like there, it's like there's it's like a matter of like precision
Mhm.
and like tightness, a feeling like of tightness with the game. I don't feel that with what's the game called?
I'm letting
With
you
here we go. With
battle.
Battle Block Theater. Um and so I'm not enjoying it as much as I thought I would. But
Mm.
I mean, it's still fun because you know, it's a fun thing to play together. So um
You sound like it's like it sounds really bad the way you're talking about it.
it's not that bad. It's just not
No, I
it's
know what you mean
not
though.
very
Like
fun.
I remember playing it and it's not challenging at all, honestly. Like from
Yeah.
what I remember. I think I liked it just because of how like how the narration goes about, right? Or like one of the dudes
Yeah.
was really funny and it's just
Well, yeah,
it's
you
just
have
funny. I
a
think that's the
great
big thing.
yeah, that's it, like it's a really like wild, funny story,
Mhm.
and the narration's really great.
Yeah.
But yeah, and especially because we're playing 2 player, we can pretty much it's pretty much just digging around, and you eventually get to the end.
Yeah.
If it was 1 player, it'd be a little harder, maybe, but it's not very like there's also like multiple ways you can do things, so it's just kind of like wishy-washy, I guess. And it
Mhm.
doesn't feel like I don't feel like I accomplished much when I got to the end.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, but
Probably just because
it's
it's not as hard, I'm guessing.
yeah, yeah, it's not very challenging, but
But also, I mean, this came like way before like Mario Maker, didn't it?
I mean, I was just using Mario Maker as an
Yeah.
example, but I mean, like
But
even old Mario was
Mario is just
more
more like
entertaining.
I think Mario's like platform king.
Sure, sure, but
Just thinking about it. Yeah.
I don't want to shit on the game, but I
I'm trying
just
not to because I like Behemoth a lot, so that's why I get it.
yeah, it
But the
just
main
wasn't fun. So
yeah, Castle Crashers is just way more fun.
yeah, I enjoyed that a lot, which is why I
Yeah.
thought I would enjoy Battle Block. Um,
Yeah.
but it's all good. What else? I think that's Monster Hunter. That League. Yeah, that's about it this week. Monster Hunter. Let's see, what have I done differently?
The new monsters you're fighting, or is it just like
No, we're kind
are
of
you
in
just grinding
a
stuff now?
lull. Yeah, I've been grinding a lot of stuff. I finally put together like this beast of a build where I just do tons of crit damage and I just destroy things and it feels really awesome.
Is the grind still pretty RNG heavy? That's how
Mm,
I remember it, and that's kind of
Not
why I fell
no.
off of it.
really. No.
The only time I think partly it's
Like certain
our
parts.
friend who plays Monster Hunter the most
Mhm.
is such a slave to meta builds where it seems like
Ah,
it's a grind,
ah.
but
But playing how you want, it's not a big
it
deal.
is so easy to just build whatever you want
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
I don't really even consider it a grind.
Uh,
Like the fights
Yeah.
are really fun,
mhm.
and yeah, like sometimes if you play certain weapons, certain gems help a lot more.
Yeah.
Like if you want a lance build, it helps if you have a guard up. But
Mhm.
it's not like you just can't play without guard up.
Right.
Yeah.
It just helps, and I think that's kind of where there's that disconnect because
Mhm.
like hunting monsters is fun. It's very easy to get all the parts you need,
Yeah.
and if you have some terrible streak of bad luck where you're not getting like the gems or whatever, you can use these certain items. They just give you gems, and it's
Oh,
not a
okay.
hassle.
Okay.
Or even like parts if you're looking for a specific part.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
It's just been a while since I played, so
Yeah.
even then, I'm like probably remembering things wrong anyway.
yeah.
No. What have you been playing, Luke?
Basically, like a lot of Monster Hunter. I play League. My girlfriend's playing and I'm watching. It's this game on the Switch.
Mhm.
It's just such a terrible game. It's AI the Somnium Files, which it's developed by the same game devs who do Pokemon Mystery Dungeon or
Oh.
Danganronpa.
Oh,
But
okay.
it's
But
like so it's kind of along the same. It's a mystery detective game.
Mhm.
It's parts like point and click and parts puzzle solving.
Okay.
The game is really funny. Like the writing is just absurd, and so that's why I like it. Although
Uh-huh.
some parts are just too absurd and I don't like it.
Mm.
Uh, like there's a lot of just blatant sexist stuff where I'm just like,
Oh,
that's
okay.
not even necessary.
Oh.
Yeah.
Or you have this 12-year-old child bench pressing 265 pounds, like just, it doesn't make sense. And the puzzles sometimes don't make any sense at all
Uh,
because the whole shtick is when you're a detective and the police force has this special machine where you can dive into people's subconsciousness. It's kind of like Inception, and
okay.
you're trying to find out like a motive or something. But
Oh.
the way
Okay.
to like progress through people's subconsciousness is to find all these clues to open the path to keep going into their mind. But some of the puzzles just are garbage because
Oh.
it's like it's a very much causation type thing where these like the door is locked and something is linked to the door in the game world, so you have to go find to interact with it, and it's doesn't make sense.
So
It's the absurdity where it doesn't make sense where it throws me off. Like for
Mm.
example, um, there was a dungeon. I'm gonna call them dungeons. It's someone's psyche. There was a dungeon where you had to lift these boxes out of the way,
uh
and to move the boxes, I think you had to open a certain door, and then you open the door, and your character is given 3 prompts of yell into the door, punch into the door,
Mhm.
or just say hello, and you had to say hello, and then the boxes would just move out of the way. It's just like it doesn't make sense.
Oh, yeah, okay. I get you. I don't
Huh.
like those either.
Huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the game I think we like because it's so absurd, but actually playing through it sometimes is a chore.
Is it
Mm.
like an old game?
No, it
Is it like pretty
came out last year,
last year? Oh, okay. Huh.
but yeah, not a whole lot. A lot of Monster Hunter because I'm having a lot more fun just doing random stuff now.
Heck yeah. Dude, yeah, not to like we probably talk about Destiny and Monster Hunter like 90% of this, but
So far.
yeah, so far. Um but that's like a game where it's like never like I'm at in game and then I'm still like having fun with it. A lot of the times I'll like get to end game and I'll be like, all right, kind of done. But
Yeah, it's one really fun game where you hit endgame and there's just so much to do, or it might feel like you're trying to check all these boxes, but checking all the boxes is really fun
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
for me because at that point it's like, hey, you could keep progressing the game and increase your level so you can do these more quests. I'm like, yeah, I could do that, or I could just completely go sideways and like, I'm gonna pick up a new weapon now. Like
Mm-hmm.
300 hours in the game, I'm just gonna learn a new weapon.
Yeah. It's
So
or like I'll just like build all of the weapon that I do have, or yeah,
yeah, like
there's so much different.
for Iceborne, I'm just to myself randomly, a goal is I'm gonna build every single insect glaive because
Yeah,
that's the weapon I use the most, and it's this random arbitrary end game thing to do, but it's still really fun.
yeah. I dig it. I dig it a lot. Ugh.
What have you got? Have you guys heard anything interesting in the past week?
Did you hear about Jason Schreier?
I did.
I was gonna ask you that.
Yeah. For those who don't know, Jason Schreier is an investigative journalist for Kotaku who has some really, really heavy hitting articles that mainly talk about game industry stuff. Like he was the one who published the allegations about Riot Games and a lot of like
Was he the one?
sexual misconduct.
I thought that was a different dude.
Um, Let me check.
But I know he dropped was it
He did
Mass Effect?
he did Anthem.
Anthem, that's what it was. I was like, it was a Bioware game. I thought maybe it was him. I just couldn't remember. But yeah, he's like usually the guy that like he gets like the inside news about like a lot of the just what's it called? Oh my god, what's the word? Um what's the word when they have to like crunch time, like you start hearing about crunch started like popping up a lot more with him, I feel like, or I just go to him for like that kind of news. So like, it's it was really well, because I forgot, is he
Part
switching
of it
to
is he's going to Bloomington, I think.
or Bloomberg, was it Bloomberg?
Bloomberg, sorry.
Yeah,
He's just going to a different
yeah.
news source, but he's been somewhat vocal, somewhat like beating around the bush about why he's leaving Kotaku, but
Yeah,
there's reasons he's leaving Kotaku.
I mean, a lot of the other like bigger people from Kotaku have already left too, from what I
Yeah,
remember. Like a lot of like just news journalists or just like writers and stuff. So I'm
you were
just
right. It
curious.
was someone else who did the Riot
Okay,
article, by the
yeah,
way.
okay, that's what I figured.
But yeah,
Um,
he's leaving Kotaku, and I think that's gonna be interesting.
yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting for Kotaku because honestly, I only went to Kotaku for him at this point. So we'll see how it goes. I'm just curious how like they're gonna handle like their new stuff. I'm sure they still got some good people. I just Jason Schreier was like the go-to person for
He
me.
was kind of the big
Yeah.
Kotaku.
Like if it was like a big headline, I kind of assumed it was him.
Mhm.
Sometimes unfair, but most of the time it was. It felt like. So yeah, I mean, good for him going to Bloomberg because I know. Yeah, I think I was reading up somewhere or heard on a podcast there. It was they were like people were trying to guess where he was gonna go next because it wasn't like that most people had a feeling that he was just not just retiring, but he was like going
Yeah.
to a different news outlet. So that was the big thing that I heard this week. Or still, it's still like I think that was actually last Friday. I think, right?
No, was it?
Something like that.
I thought it was.
It,
I thought it was yesterday.
that's what I'm telling you, man. It's the days are
Uh,
blurry.
yeah, he posted that today.
Okay, but
It looks like 9 hours ago. But
huh,
yeah, it's like super recent.
yeah, super recent.
I was going to talk about what Sony did. They're doing their quote stay at home initiative or the play at
Oh
home
yeah,
initiative
yeah.
that they're calling it. I think until May 5th, you can download for free the game Journey and the Nathan Drake collection, which is the Uncharted
Uncharted.
series.
Yeah,
Oh, I did see that. Yeah.
yeah.
Which I think like kudos to them. It's just another incentive
Hmm.
to people to stay at home play video games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you
I
guys ever
mean,
play Journey or any of the Uncharted series games?
I played Uncharted. I played Uncharted 1 and 2. I didn't
Okay.
get to play 3 yet. 3 and 4.
I watched all of those.
I've
They
watched
are
3 and 4. Yeah.
really fun. They're great.
Good. Yeah, I was like, the collection. Yeah, that's the time sink. Have fun. That's
It's
really good.
definitely worth getting them.
Yeah.
They just remind me of a way more cinematic, way more actiony Tomb Raider.
And I mean, that was the
Oh,
comparison
yeah.
back then too.
Yeah,
Or
like with the reboot of Tomb Raider, it's definitely a lot more slower, a little more like personable.
mhm,
Nathan Drake like just kind of goes crazy.
yeah.
Yeah. It's like Indiana Jones in a video game.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what it was. I remember like I remember trying to hilarious. I tried to demo out for Uncharted way back when, and because we heard it was Naughty Dog, and I was like, "Oh, the guys that made Jack and Daxter. Okay, let's see what they're doing." Seeing the graphics and all that. I was like, "Whoa, this is dope." And wait, and then my mom walks by. She's like, "It's kind of like Indiana Jones." I'm like, "You're right." This is
Yeah.
like in high school too, I think. So I was just like, "This is cool,"
Yeah.
because it was PS3. Yeah, PS3. Yeah, I recommend that. Recommend that collection for sure. That's a fun time. I haven't. I think because I got it. I didn't get the free one because I got it on sale a while back. So
Uh-huh.
still worth though. Because I did try playing the first one. I think one of my breaks. Still fun. Kind of not super dated yet, but still pretty good. I like it.
What about Journey?
Journey. I don't think I.
Because I know Journey's also coming to PC. I've heard.
Yeah.
I played that at a friend's house for a little bit when that first came out. So that's about it. That was fun though. It was really cool.
It's a really pretty game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember being super. It's like the minimalist look, right? Kind of. Trying to
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah, it has like a
Yeah.
minimalist art style a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think the whole like you have another player spawn in randomly in your world and you have to like figure stuff out with
Yeah,
them. I think
you
that's
can't
really cool.
communicate with them really.
Yeah. You just got like little like cries and stuff.
hmm
It's cute.
No, that's a good one too. Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you know if
That's
they're
one
gonna
of
do more?
those.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. More
Just
what?
other games. Yeah.
Oh, the people who made that one?
No, I mean
PlayStation.
PlayStation. Sorry, Sony. Yeah.
Oh.
Or is this just probably just these two?
Um, they've been. There's no
Tinted.
concrete answer.
Yeah.
I would assume if a lot of businesses and things don't go back to normal
Probably go another
in
round.
May, because I know they said through May 5th they might
Mhm.
offer 2 more.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot of free publicity, a lot of free goodwill,
hmm
especially like with E3 canceled. It's at least something to look forward
Yeah,
to.
something. Right.
Right.
But
Sorry, what were you gonna say, Ian? I cut you off. That's my bad.
Oh no, it's not important. I was just saying it like Journey is one of those games that really like builds that sense of wonder
Mhm.
and like the
it's
just
one of
like
those
the
like
visuals. It's really great.
it's like a quintessential indie game.
Yeah.
Even though
Yeah.
I don't know if it was necessarily an indie company, but it's like
Uh,
along the same lines of like the game Gree.
yeah, along the same lines from what. Yeah.
It's just a very like short,
Mhm.
emotional game.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot about it, so I just got it just now. Thanks for reminding me. I didn't have it on PS4 at least, so I haven't had it. Didn't get the chance to play it. Did you guys also hear about moving on, switching? Minecraft got the RTX support.
No, I
Wait,
did not.
what?
Yeah, no, Minecraft. They just released the beta.
Mhm.
Not, or I think it's a closed beta or like a test kit that if you get access to it, you can see if you have an RTX, real trace. What is it? Real trace. I'm trying to explain what it is, but if you have an RTX like rig or setup, you can test out Minecraft and see how good it looks with RTX on.
What is RT?
So it's like the new I think Nvidia system. Let me just make sure before I watch this. But I know like it's supposed to be like the next gen, like a lot of like new graphics cards
Oh,
can
it's a
like handle.
card. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So it's essentially dealing with ray tracing. So it like helps with the graphics with like real time, like the ray tracing. So lighting effects look real.
It's was it ray tracing?
Yeah, ray tracing. So I think that's why
Yeah.
it's RTX Extreme. That's probably what it was. I don't remember exactly. But essentially, like I think the new consoles will have this too. So graphics will just look way better. Like reflection on water looks really good. Like lighting effects look like realistic. That's the whole point. It's just supposed to look really good. So
Nice.
to me, it's just really funny how Minecraft has that. I know
Yeah,
they
right.
were teasing it, but Minecraft has it. But I watched some videos on it. It's insane how good it looks for
Yeah, I'm looking
Minecraft.
at some stuff right
Like
here.
they're
It's
just
pretty.
it's just really funny to see like, oh, these blocks, if you turn RTX off, and yeah, the mode is just called RTX. So like when you turn it off, it looks like normal Minecraft. If you
Yeah.
turn it on, these blocks all of a sudden become mirrors, and it's reflective. It's just it looks so real. And in the water, looks with the sun rays bouncing off. It's like,
Yeah.
wow, why is this in Minecraft? But I guess you know what? Why
Why are
not?
there like golden shafts of light coming down in
Yeah.
the cavern where
Like
everything's still just a block, but
no,
it's a
it's insane.
beautiful block.
It's beautiful. But it's just like I was just listening to how like they're trying to how the tech works and they're like, oh, this is like a test. Gonna try to apply it to like new stuff later on. So like I'm assuming next gen consoles, for someone getting a new console, you'll probably get these. This is when like graphics are I thought graphics was like pretty good right now, and it's always
Yeah.
the same case. It's always getting pushed.
No,
So
this is
with
like
this
a good idea actually, because like apply something like that to something
too
simple like
so
Minecraft,
simple
and you
and it
can if you can make that look amazing,
yeah.
then think what you can do with
Like,
other
I was looking
things.
at before and after pictures, it looks insane, like, oh, like, the lighting
Yeah,
bounces like, just showing a room, I'm like, "Wow." Like, those mods in Skyrim, like, that
yeah,
makes it look so good. The same
yeah.
thing's being applied in Minecraft where I'm like, "Wow, this is how the light should shine in this room. This is how the light should, like, affect the room, like, how much the shadow should pop up. If you turn this light off, what it looks like." Well, yeah, this is
Dude, I tell you, like in 10 years, I'm gonna be able to put like a projector screen up, like in a gap in like between two buildings or something down an alleyway. And then I'll
and
be
you'll
able to
and
like project something onto it from like a video game and it'll look seamless. Like
yeah. I
people won't
mean
know the difference.
even like just I know some of my coworkers were like someone mentioned they're like, yeah, we went to like they're like talking about like they went to New York and they saw like ads for it and for just video games. Sorry, jumping off like to realism. They're like seeing ad for like a game. They're like, wow, this looks really good. This looks real. That's not a person. Oh, crazy. But yeah, Minecraft has RTX support, or it's a beta, so it's if you're interested, I think you have to sign up with like Xbox Insider, something like that, and then you get access. Because I think it's a free beta, but I don't have the system, so it doesn't matter. My
Yeah.
stuff can't support it, so. But it's just really cool. Like if you guys just search it up, it's just really cool to see like before and after. And
Yeah,
it's
if you just
Minecraft.
search up.
I just think it's hilarious that it's Minecraft.
Yeah, right.
But you're not wrong. Like if you can apply it to this, and it looks this amazing, just think about the possibilities for like other games.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
that's
just
yeah,
look
I think
up
that
like NVIDIA RTX, you'll find it.
yeah, yeah. Oh, that's still funny. But anything else? I can't think of
No,
too
I'm
much.
tapped.
Nah, I mean it's still a pretty slow.
Yeah, it's I think we're just gonna be in that
Yeah.
slow of things. Just it is what it is. I mean, a lot of stuff keep getting pushed back too. Just
Yeah.
Oh, I did hear about this. Supposedly, um, Doom Eternal soundtrack uh was
oh, it dropped, right? I think.
so they released the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Apparently Mick Gordon, the composer, did not have a lot
Approve
of
it.
work on that,
Oh, really?
which makes a lot of like I was watching some gameplay
Hmm.
and the music just
Comparatively.
it doesn't really have the same kind of power that the first one had, and
Hmm.
Yeah.
kind of expected it.
Mm.
Like I know someone was doing some audio files to know more about what he's doing, but he's comparing the actual like raw files,
Hmm.
and it looks like Doom Eternal soundtrack was just compressed really, really hard.
Oh.
So the music quality was not great, and there are rumors. It's not verified or anything, but supposedly Mick Gordon is not having good relations with Bethesda and id right now.
Okay. I
Hmm.
mean, damn, that
But
sucks.
it's just a rumor. But it definitely confirms, like after watching some gameplay, the music just is not as good.
Hmm.
That's a shame.
Yeah, because I've heard some people just talk about like the new soundtrack, and some people just like it. They're like, "Oh, this is really cool." So I don't
Like
know.
it's still good.
Yeah, but just comparatively, like if
Yeah,
you
because
actually
I think
compare it.
even Mick Gordon released his versions of the songs on his YouTube, and it
Okay.
sounds so much better.
Oh yeah. Okay. I kind of want to hear it then. I might take a listen. I haven't played the game yet, but I like keep hearing about the soundtrack being pretty cool. So
Mhm.
I just didn't know about that. So that's good to know.
But I think that's all we have. So right now we're going to take a little break, and then we're about to jump into our main topic. So stay tuned. Okie dokie, we're back from the break, and it's time to talk about our main topic for today, which we're going to be talking about betas in video games, open betas, closed betas, early access, open access, whatever you want to refer to it. It's basically playing the game before it's officially out. We'll talk probably briefly about Valorant as well because it's kind of the new big thing in the gaming news right now, and it's in closed beta with some weird caveats to getting access to it. But we'll talk about that later. Really, just want to know: do you actively try and play betas before games, or do you just kind of wait and see? Because
For Go ahead.
I there was a brief time where I tried to play a lot of the betas,
Mhm.
Mm.
um, but I think recently I tend to look at games with a lot more of a critical eye, and I can kind of already judge if I want to play the game without having to play the beta. And like, I also I don't only play good games. Like, I'll play a garbage game because I think it's fun, disregarding if the beta was well or not. But I think it's because I'm a little more picky about my quality of game, but also I like to play bad games sometimes. I don't really play betas anymore.
Mm.
I
Okay.
don't know if you guys do because I think the last beta I actually tried was the Anthem beta.
Didn't you
Was that?
try Division 2?
No, I never played the beta.
Oh, you didn't play the beta. Okay, never
Wait,
mind.
no, I did.
Did you play Call of Duty Modern Warfare beta with us?
That's I played I think 15 seconds before my computer crashed.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, he like hopped in the game and was like, "Why am
That's
I
what it was.
frozen?" And then he died. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what it
but
was. I remember.
I generally don't, or even if I do get access to a beta,
Mhm.
it's not like I'm gonna play the beta for the entire period. Like, I'll hop on, just check it out, and then
Mhm.
my decision's already made by then. What about you
Okay.
guys?
Um, yeah, it kind of depends just on if if I'm already interested in it. I kind of like you. I can already tell if it's something I'll want to play. Um, but I do like if I hear about it in time and there's a beta for something I'm interested in, I will try it out just to like because I mean the point of a beta is like is this gonna work? Like, are we gonna be able to handle the amount of people that are gonna play this?
Mhm.
Do people have good reactions to it and stuff like that? So I'll play it to give input to that, but or to support it, I guess.
Mhm.
Um, but that being said, I don't get into a lot of beta, or I don't like actively seek betas. It's just if I like passively hear it, or if you guys pick up something like the Call of Duty or something like that. Um,
And what about you,
but yeah,
Harrison?
what about you? Yeah.
Uh, yeah, now it's more of like if it's a game I'm super interested in, then I'll play it. Like Call of Duty, like I was interested. I was like, okay, cool, let's test this out. Because I remember playing a free to play weekend for a different version of Call of Duty, the one before the current one, and I couldn't play it. And I was like, what? Why can't I play this? And then tried to play this one, and this ran really well. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm interested. I might play it. This is cool, and it ran well. So but it's not like super indicative of am I gonna buy this game right away? If anything, it helps, but I kind of pick. I'm also in the boat of now. Like I kind of pick and choose. But if it's something I care about, then maybe I'll help. Like because I know, yeah, it's mostly like to help stress test or like just see if we can, how much we can handle on this game. So I'll do my due diligence, and if I care enough, I'll probably play it. But and actually, speaking of, when are we only talking about betas, or we're talking like demos too? Because I think I don't play as much betas now. Because I think back then most of the betas I would play were like Halo betas. Like
Mm.
I remember, like I think Halo 3 came with like a beta,
Oh,
or
really?
I think it came with, no, or it had a beta, or no, it had a demo of Crackdown. But then there was a
Oh.
beta for Halo 5, and I remember trying my hardest to get into Halo 5 beta,
Mm.
and finally got into it. I think played with like a few of the guys back then. But I think back then I used to play more first person shooter betas, because I think that's just, there were just more of those, just because they had to stress test how many people they can handle on their servers.
Mhm.
But I'm trying to think of, I did try to Anthem beta just because I was curious. I think if anything, I tried beta just because I'm curious. 'Cause I tried Anthem, tried Division 2 beta. Trying to think of the other betas. Man, I don't. Yeah, no, I think now I just play. If it's a beta, maybe open. Okay, and then open access or early access. Are we talking like, like those Steam games, for instance? Like for instance, on Steam, do you pay early just to have early access to the game? Like
Yeah,
I paid.
Hades.
Yeah, like Hades. Yeah, I paid early access and played Hades. Even though technically now it's still even in beta, I feel like, because it's
Yeah,
not
like I
officially
don't want to
launched
get
either.
too nitty gritty about like what they are. I think they're all just blanket like demo, beta, open beta, closed
Yeah,
beta, early access. Like they're all
Yeah.
kind of the same. So I don't
yeah,
want to get too nitty gritty.
yeah. No, I mean, yeah, I'll play if I'm interested, but
Yeah.
I don't search. It's not like any beta that drops is, oh yeah, I'm gonna jump into it right away. Oh, if, maybe before, because being a college kid, not being able to like play too much, I just want to test things out before I play. Maybe, but now it's like I already, there's so much sources that you can just, more people are gonna stream it, more people are gonna like make videos on it now. So I'll just watch those instead of actually doing it myself, most likely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
because yeah, like I said before, like I'm pretty choosy. The last time I was actually interested and actively trying to get into the beta was the Anthem beta,
Hmm.
mm.
and I think through a combination of the game is so bad, was not optimized, and my computer isn't the greatest, it
Hmm.
just would not run, and so that completely killed my drive to play Anthem. And the same thing happened with Call of Duty, where I jumped in that one game. I think I got a kill, I died, I revived, I tried to jump over a wall, and my computer crashed. And so I've had probably worse experiences than good experiences with like betas and stuff. And so
Hmm. Yeah, and I mean, and that's kind, honestly, that is kind of unfortunate, just because it is a beta. So
yeah, like it's partly because I know I would really like Hades. I just haven't bought it yet.
mhm.
That would be an example of something I'm really excited about, and I don't like. I would have a positive experience,
Yeah,
early access or whatever. I think the last time I actually got into some sort of beta and really liked the game and ended up buying the game was Slay the Spire.
yeah, yeah. Because
Um,
Yeah.
that, I think when I bought it too, when you guys told me about it, it was still in early access as well. Actually,
yeah, it's been an early. It
it
only
was.
recently got into official release,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but have you guys ever had an experience like that where the beta just positive or negative, like the beta just completely changed your opinion on the game?
Oh,
Uh,
hmm.
like super drastic. I don't remember there being a super drastic one. It's always like, I think for me, it's just always like, oh, this runs pretty cool. Okay, I'll give it a shot. But it's
Yeah.
not like, I haven't had your experiences where like my game, like, or my computer just freaks out and I can't handle it. That's the
Yeah,
other thing.
Yeah, I've never had I've had betas that, like, confirm
yeah. Like talk about
that I
those.
already had, but wait, what were you say?
Going like not just computer performance wise, as they're like you played the beta and like, yeah, this game was garbage. I know it's garbage. Or like you were surprised about a beta. Was there any game like that?
Mm,
I've never been surprised, but I think that's because, and I think, like, all 3 of us do this, is we'll, like, kinda get to know a game before we just, like, "Oh, hey, there's a beta for this thing, I'll try this out." And, like, it, like, fully blindside you or something.
yeah, I'm trying to think. No, I think I think I played more demos, if anything,
Mm,
just because there's like, oh, the game's about to come out. Here's a quick demo of like a certain section of the game, and
yeah.
I'll play that. But it's not like even those I haven't like
Did you
nothing
play
really
the
pops
Final
up.
Fantasy VII demo?
I did. Oh, okay, yeah, I did. And I didn't play that long because I like the moment I played it, I was like playing up to a certain point, and I think my girlfriend was next to me at the time. I was like, "All right, babe, I'm just gonna buy this. I'm done playing this demo. I'm gonna play it. I'll buy it later." Like that, because like there's a point where if a demo encourages too, I get scared of like, oh, how much of a spoiler will it provide? But it never does. It really never does. I just like experience the game for itself. So playing
Yeah.
I think just Final Fantasy 7 was just super. I was just like, wow, the graphics look so good. Wow, this looks great. Like just amazing. I like the new combat. Everything like the demo they showed prior is cool. Yeah, I'm gonna buy it. But nothing like, and I mean, I played the Anthem beta too, and it wasn't it. Most time, yeah. I think we've played games enough now that we can kind of gauge what like are we gonna really like this game, and is it? Yeah, I mean, I played the Anthem one. It was cool. I was like, all right, this is cool. I get to fly around. I get to be in a mech. That's awesome. But I kind of confirmed that I wasn't really gonna play it, and kind of glad I wasn't super into it. I was hopeful. I remember thinking about I was hopeful it would be good because it was Bioware.
Yeah,
Right.
we were all excited,
We
and
were
then
super,
Yeah.
yeah. I remember it was like,
That
yeah, because it was like
was
because
that.
I was really excited, and I was
Mhm.
really wanting Anthem to be good, but the the beta was a complete 180 for me.
You hate to see
mm.
it.
I I said I don't do a whole lot of these, but I think actually I'm about to buy this early access right now. uh, there's a game called Curse of the Dead Gods.
Oh yeah,
Is that
yeah.
that
I
on
think I'm
Steam?
actually
That's on
yeah,
Steam.
yeah,
That
it's
I
on
looks
think
Steam.
good.
I think I've heard of that too.
Yeah.
What was
I
it about again? I can't remember. I remember.
well,
I know I have it in my wish list.
I think I think it's actually like a similar vibe to Hades, not in terms of like the setting and stuff, but in just
Yeah,
like it's isometrical, like top down, action,
It's like a roguelike.
yeah, roguelike
yeah. It's
action
a roguelite. Yeah.
thing. Um,
Okay, I see
yeah,
it now.
dungeon crawler. So
Oh, it has like some elements from Slay the Spire too, like the map thing where you can choose your pathing. I think.
yeah, a little bit.
I
It's
remember
not a
getting
card
some.
game, but
It's
yeah,
not no, but it's like an it's a isometric. But I got some Slay the Spire vibes from it. But also yeah, Hades.
yeah. But I saw it like release the beta, or I don't even know if it was a beta. It was like a closed. Yeah, I don't think they had. They just call it an extremely early stage test,
Hmm.
but now it's like I don't know when this happened, but now it's like early access on Steam, so you can buy it. Um, but yeah, I saw some dude playing it like a month ago or something like that,
Hmm.
and it was I saw like 10 minutes of him playing it and like explaining how it works, and I was like, oh okay, yeah, I'm into this.
I'm in. I'm in.
I'll probably buy this.
Yeah. And I think that just comes with like it's just nice to like test out a game, you know? Like I
Hmm.
remember because I mean back then, you guys remember how demo discs came with like pizza?
Yep.
Like yeah.
Dude,
All
yeah,
those mini
fucking
games.
Double
What's
Dash, Mario Kart Double Dash for the GameCube. I bought with it. It came with a demo disc of like 5 or 6 other games. It was great.
man, just trying out that stuff was great.
Yeah,
Um,
there's yeah. I want to. There's like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game on there. There was, I think, a Sonic game. I think it was Sonic Adventure Battle 2 had a
mhm.
demo on there. I think, and then that's when I was like, oh, I'm gonna get Sonic Adventure Battle 2. It's great.
Yeah. But to go back to your question, yeah, I mostly only play it. If I am somewhat interested, I'll play it, but I don't seek it out.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know
about the
what?
same.
Now that I think I lie a little bit because I did
I don't know.
play the TFT bait because it was like technically
Oh
I
yeah,
kind of forgot
technically that was
about that.
beta. That
Yeah,
it,
TFT.
Yeah, that's
you know,
true.
that's so hard with certain games nowadays too. Like a beta isn't. It's so
Yes,
different compared to
some
before.
games the beta is just,
It's like
especially for
forever in
like with
beta.
EA. if you give us more money, you can just play the game early. It's like, is
Yeah.
this really open access at this point?
Yeah.
But no, I did play TFT beta.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Did
remember.
Yeah, I
I
think we all
remember
did.
you got the Legends of Runeterra beta, didn't you, Harrison?
Yes. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I guess that was the last. I'd say that's the last one I tried to get into.
Mm.
Did you end up liking Legends of Runeterra?
I did. No, I actually did like it. And then I just haven't gotten back into it just because there's so many things I want to play, but that's not like on the top of my list.
Mm.
Because I can already like just playing the beta too. I can gauge. I'm like, okay, this is one of those games that I just have to keep playing, and it's just I'm gonna have to keep coming back, investing time because it's a card game, right?
Yeah.
With like, it's a card game. I expect to like invest some time, like the way I did with Hearthstone. So
Right.
there's that. I'm trying to think. Oh, and I mean, there's just thinking about other betas. Dauntless. Speaking of that, we technically played Dauntless too,
Yeah, we did.
just to try it. But I think it was more like we were all waiting for Monster Hunter to come out, and it was definitely something just to pass the time.
Yeah, I was just tiding us over.
And then playing it, we're like, yeah, we're just gonna wait till Monster Hunter.
So I think most people know Valorant is in its closed beta right now.
Mhm.
It's the hero FPS that Riot Games is developing.
Mm.
Do you guys have any interest at all in just Valorant as a game?
So, oh,
'Cause
I'm
I
getting
know
ahead.
Ian was talking about.
Yeah.
You were briefly talking about it with one of our other friends.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it seems interesting. Um, like I do actually want to try it out. If that
Is it
does get into
interesting
open
because
beta,
of
I would try
the
it.
shooting or the heroes, or like what
It's
exactly is interesting to you?
interesting to me to see, because so from the vibe that I get from it is it's like CS:GO with Overwatch combined.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, and I liked Overwatch when I played Overwatch. I like that. So I would be interested to see Riot's thing, I guess. Um, but I am kind of interested because so I don't know if you guys know a whole lot about CS:GO, but is there like a one map? Because I feel like every time I've seen CS:GO, it's always more like the same map.
Everyone plays on the what's it called?
D-Dust.
D-Dust. Yeah.
Okay, so that is that the like only map, or are there others?
There are other maps
There are
in
others.
CS:GO.
Yeah, there are other
Okay,
maps.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
there I saw like I was watching a stream for like a couple minutes um
Of CS:GO?
of someone playing it. No, of Valorant.
Valorant.
And the map looks like pretty much the same to that as the
Yeah.
CS:GO Dune map.
Well, I think part of why you see a lot of in CS:GO the same maps is I think there's a tournament official set of maps, and it's not that
Yeah.
big.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's a
So
pool. Yeah.
Well, so it looks like and like they even have like a bee up on the wall, like just
yeah,
like
like
CS:GO
this is
did.
area B and blah blah blah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
And so I'm just interested to see if like it's different enough to actually compete with CS:GO in like a professional setting. I yeah, I don't know. I'm just interested. I don't it's I don't know. I
Yeah,
would have to try it. I have to
we
try
can
it,
get
which is
back
why I
to
want
that.
to.
Uh,
But
what are your just overall thoughts, Harrison, real quick? Because I do want to talk about what Ian is talking about, but I don't
Yeah.
want to leave
So
Harrison in
I've
the
been
dust.
watching a lot of streams. I will say I've been trying to get a key.
You've been
So
trying. Okay.
I have actually. So I've been watching it enough. I'm like, oh, I'm super interested. I
mhm,
really want to try it. But the only thing I thought about is this is actually like it is pretty close. Like it is I would say as difficult as CS:GO. Um, just from what I've seen, that's why I want to play it, just because I'm curious. Because Ian brought up Overwatch, and it is pretty much. I think it's pretty close to that. It's essentially, in my opinion, it's also like CS:GO with Overwatch characters. But I don't. But thinking about that too, I thought about it. I'm like, who would actually want to play this? Because some of our friends in our friend group don't like first person shooters as much, and this game does kind of. You kind of do have to be pretty good at first person shooters. You just happen to have abilities that you can just play around, but
mhm.
most of the time you just have to you essentially shoot, right?
Yeah.
While in like Overwatch, you have support characters that you don't have to worry too much, I'd say. And it's not as it wouldn't deter as much. There are certain characters that have that loadout. What's her name? I don't remember names, but there's one that's like essentially a healer with orbs and it has ice powers and all that. But
Okay.
watching enough, yeah, I'm actually super interested. So I lied. This is the current one I'm trying to get into.
Yeah.
But
So like as far as the like differences in abilities, it
mhm,
seems like Overwatch has like a ton of like a lot of their abilities are like I mean, it's kind of all over the place, right? You have your like abilities that do damage, abilities that are mobility based or
yeah.
like CC based, stuff like that. From what and I've only watched a small amount, so you might have a better idea of this. But the
Mhm.
abilities that I've seen so far in Valorant, it's mostly um like area control abilities. Like there's one that
Yeah.
I saw that was like it creates like an orb and you can't
Yeah.
like see through the orb, or there's like this big rectangular chunk that spawns out of the ground.
Mhm.
So it's
Yeah.
like a lot of
It's a lot more like environmental control.
yeah,
Or it's a
yeah.
lot more utility, but I think it's only because a lot of people end up choosing those characters. Like just
Okay.
paying attention. Because there are some characters because I was looking into it. There are some characters that one is essentially like Reaper where you can like teleport behind. Then there's another one that you play as like it kind of like a spy espionage where you could put cameras around and you pay attention.
Oh,
No,
wow.
there are characters, but you just don't see it as often because I don't. A lot of people end up choosing the same, like, or her name's Sage. They choose
Uh-huh.
her because she's the one that has the ice wall. She's like a
Okay.
combination of May and Mercy. That's
Okay.
um.
Interesting.
Then there's another one that's like the soldier class. And a
Yeah.
lot of them do have the like three of them have orb esque looking ones that block your vision, and I'm like, but they each do kind of different things.
Uh-huh.
But it's
Yeah,
just like,
I saw like
but
two different orbs. Like
I've
one was
seen,
like
yeah, I was like, when I
Healy
first
and
started.
one was like a smoke screen looking thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The one interesting one was like the poison chick, and oh yeah, and then some of them have elemental stuff. You just that's what defines them.
Oh,
So one's
cool.
like a wind wall, so that's the one that kind of is a smoke screen you've probably seen.
Mm. Yeah.
Um, then there's the green one where she's the poison chick. So if you walk through here, I think if you're, and
Oh,
I
it might
keep
have been the
forgetting,
poison one I saw
yeah, it
right
might have been the poison one. I think her ult is she makes an area poison or a poison cloud, and if the person walks in, they can, it's something like how you can see them the moment they walk in. Yeah, there's I might be mixing up some stuff, but
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
There
It
but the main ones that you always see are it's because people always end up choosing them.
right.
And I
Ha
think it's just play style.
have you seen anything, Luke? Have you looked into it at all?
I've watched a little bit. Um,
Are you interested at all?
no,
Oh, really? You're just flat out.
I'm. I don't like hero-based games a lot.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Like I don't mind as much. Like with League, it's
But
mainly
League is League.
control.
That makes sense.
Hero-based shooters, I think, are really annoying.
Mm.
Really, I mean, the other one is Overwatch, and I didn't like Overwatch, so that's kind of where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
I don't like the just overall idea of hero-based shooters.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Wha
but sorry, go ahead.
is there anything specifically, or it just kinda doesn't
Uh,
tickle your
Like,
fancy?
do you like the skill based more, or do you just and then his powers are just kind of like utility?
like I don't. It's weird to kind of put into words. I want to say it's like because I really like Overwatch's character design,
Mhm.
Mhm.
but I just want to play a certain character because they look a certain way, and I hate that they don't do what I would wish they could do.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's also just shooters as a whole. It gets into a weird. You don't really get to feel the player like the character fantasy 100% of the time. You mainly do like if you're
Okay.
playing Genji, for example, in
Yeah.
Overwatch.
Mhm.
When they did the reveals way back when, it was like, oh cool, like you get to play a melee character in a shooter. That sounds cool. And then I played him and like, oh, I have to throw my ninja stars until I get to use my fourth ability.
Yeah.
So part of that, it's that kind of feel where I wish my character would just do something else, and they don't, and it annoys me.
Mm.
Like,
like in your head canon.
yeah, like I like Reinhardt, but his play style to me is just very boring.
It's very boring.
Mm. Yeah.
So it's never been my go-to.
Because I mean, you played. Just trying to remember Overwatch. You played a lot of Soldier, right? I think that's what it was. Soldier and someone else.
I played a little bit of Soldier. Mainly, I played
Zenyatta, right?
Zenyatta
Zenyatta.
Reinhardt,
That's what it was. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Okay.
that's mainly like with Zenyatta. I don't have to play. I don't have to
Yeah.
play the game Blizzard wants me to, and it makes me weirdly happy because I can just sit in the back and he'll be like, "Look, I'm playing not how I should be playing." Ha ha ha.
Oh,
But it's
I
it's never
guess.
been interesting to me,
Mhm.
um, especially like going into what Ian was saying, where it's like both of you guys kind of hit. It's the CS:GO mixed with Overwatch.
Mhm.
Yeah.
With I definitely feel like Valorant is trying to take over that Overwatch crowd
Yeah.
because like Valorant, I think will never compete with CS:GO. I think
I
CS:GO is too established,
Yeah.
and it caters to people who want to play shooters
yeah.
specifically.
It
Right.
caters to a hardcore like group of
Yeah,
people.
Yeah.
Valorant
They
won't ever pick up the super hardcore because
yeah.
especially with some of the character skills where
Mhm.
they can activate without you having to be there specifically. Like
Yeah.
there's the smoke ability where you
Right.
just open up the map and you just put smoke
Yeah.
without
That guy.
you
Yeah.
put smoke halfway across the map.
Yeah.
It's just too much randomness where I don't think the hardcore CS:GO type players are gonna gravitate towards
Mm. Yeah.
Mm,
Valorant.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of agree. Like I don't see it. I could see it taking over the or finding its own place like in the Overwatch area, like taking some of
Yeah.
that crowd or something like that, or sharing some of that crowd. I don't know. But I don't see. Yeah, it.
And it's also like partly it's because we're talking about Overwatch. If Valorant takes over Overwatch's spot, that's not necessarily great because
Right.
Overwatch, like long term, has fallen pretty hard in terms of popularity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like when it first came out, everybody was playing Overwatch, and then
Mhm.
they had Overwatch League. They were going to set up all of these like regional teams, and it's very much flying under the radar now. And that's great that Valorant has that niche where they can pick up the slack, but it's also kind of bad trying to like by proxy associating itself with Overwatch because Overwatch didn't do so well.
But I
Yeah,
mean,
but
but I mean, this is also coming from Riot, right? Because they're known for like just
uh,
heroes and
yeah,
They
I
they
was gonna
have their
say it's like it's also a Riot
it's
thing.
also
They
Riot.
have
Yeah.
their own like fan base to
yeah.
Yeah.
from,
Because
but
if because like for
That's
me,
that's the
this.
biggest bonus because
Mhm.
Blizzard isn't known for doing esports, and that's Riot's thing.
Yeah. So I.
My random thought is Riot then becomes, hey, we have to compete against ourselves
mm,
because League is definitely like their golden goose, and
mhm,
it takes the best slots for shows.
yeah,
So like, does Valorant randomly like, hey, if we have a Valorant league, it's going to be on a Thursday night or it's on a Monday night instead of
Mhm.
the prime weekend, and it gets into this weird Valorant versus League.
But what if that's what they want?
just kind of like a
Yeah.
secondary baby thing on the
Yeah.
side.
Like, oh, this there is league stuff, but then if you're not like for some a lot of people aren't like they know about league, but they won't watch it. While like there's probably more like my this is my prediction, but I don't just only because shooter like I feel like a lot more people watch shooters too. So it's like oh they're just trying to tap into that and just have more of like if that's the end goal is to have another esport game, it would just tap into like the FPS shooters versus like MOBAs, right?
You think more people watch shooters?
Or I mean like people can, right? I mean just looking at Twitch, I feel like a lot more people end up watching
Huh?
shooters like CS:GO and all that. I
Maybe.
think I
I don't know. I just I
like
my
from
impression was like League is just huge.
people yeah, it's that's the other thing, like,
I mean,
maybe it's just
the
because of
player base
boom.
for League is miles and above the biggest one, but in
Yeah,
terms of actual viewership, maybe not.
Mm,
Because you think
interesting.
about all the people overseas who probably either have their own Twitch version or they just
mhm,
Yeah,
don't watch streams as much.
yeah.
yeah.
But this is also just me not knowing. I'm just saying, like, from what I know, like, and this may be just like bias in that like what podcasts I listen to and all that.
Mhm.
Like people acknowledge League as like one of the bigger esports, but it's also like no none of the people I listen to at least really watch it because they're like, oh, I try to watch, and it was like a joke because it's like, oh, like a running joke for them in that, oh, there's no sports, oh, League is on, let's try watch it, but because they don't play it, they don't really know what's going on. But I think
Right. And I
that's
guess
just the
shooters
bait.
are more like entry level friendly in
Hmm.
that sense. Like it's easier to like know what's going on in a shooter.
Yeah. That's the only reason why I'm saying that. And I mean that's just dependent on who, like, I know everyone plays something different. Everyone's like whatever they watch is gonna be different. So that's for me, I think just coming like just thinking about like a normal like let's say like a sport going person, it's easier to understand like, oh, that they're blocking it off so they can't shoot. Versus with League is like, oh, okay, why are they going there? Okay, what did they how did they just do that? Versus, oh, smoke bomb, shoot, doesn't work. Okay. I'm
Yeah.
downplaying it really badly, but
Yeah,
I'm
No,
like
just
no,
saying
that
I'm not
it
saying
makes sense.
the esports scene will be there
yeah.
for Valorant. I'm just
Oh, sorry, yeah. I'm just saying
Riot's
like that.
competing against itself, which is
Yeah.
good and bad, maybe. But
But I'm just saying, oh yeah, sorry. So my original point was they're probably just trying to tap into like just add on another game to add on to their like, just esport empire essentially.
yeah,
Maybe
With
like when League gets slow or like when it's in
yeah,
its off season, it's like, oh,
they'll
it's
have this.
Valorant season
Yeah,
now. So you
yeah,
always have
that
something
kind
to
of thing.
watch. Yeah.
I have like, and that's what I'm curious because like with just going to Blizzard, because I feel like they were like one of the few that I remember when they had an event like BlizzCon, it was always like, oh, there's a StarCraft tournament, there's a Hearthstone tournament, there's an Overwatch thing now. Like it's just there's like I wonder if they're kind of trying to do that too, which
Mhm.
it just becomes a Riot event where all the
you're
games are
like a
being
ride event.
played.
Yeah, yeah. Even though like they have a really like I mean, yeah, like you said, League is like their cash cow. So it's just it was very surprising. I mean, I bet like after doing it for years, they just want there's some people that want to do something else maybe. But I think I watching this more, it's like after watching Valorant, it got pretty easy to like understand what was going on after like a few games.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So I think that helps. Like with League, it only helped because I knew how to play already. But I feel like, but like if it were like a new person just watching it, it does. I feel like it'd be overwhelming compared to this.
Mm.
Just thinking in terms
Another
of esports.
another thing I don't really like about hero shooters
Hmm.
is designing characters or heroes, whatever you want to call them, for those games is also pretty constraining.
Yeah, because you
So
have to.
you don't see a lot of like really crazy characters out there,
Hmm.
and it over time tends to get really dull after playing, especially when they try and establish like metas. Like with Overwatch, had their
Yeah,
rank system where you had the two
with the
two two.
roles
Yeah,
and like the three tank,
yeah.
one
And so
healer.
then
Like
like watching matches over and over, where you see the same exact
yeah,
characters.
I think that's the hard
That's
part.
where it gets really boring to me as
Hmm.
well.
Mm.
But I think that's what's nice about this with Valorant though is like it doesn't feel like there's too much. There doesn't feel like a tank, a
Yeah,
DPS,
they're all
and a
just
support.
shooters.
It's still just they're still all shooters. It's just dependent on how much utility you have. But I'm sure that higher
Mm.
level play, it'll probably end up becoming that too, and that's my
Well,
worry
because
as
I
well.
know, I think this is still true.
Hmm.
Valorant, where you can only have one of each character, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah. So that might affect how people see it. Like I don't know enough, but it's definitely going to be
Yeah,
depending on how many characters end up getting released. Because at least with League, Riot can pump out a
as
champion like
yeah,
pretty frequently.
yeah,
Like they kind of have their schedule, but with the shooter like that, it tends to
hmm,
get kind of funky.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then that yeah, and that's like the hard part of versus CS:GO, where it doesn't matter what kind of characters. There's no
Yeah,
character.
you just pick your
You just play.
guns.
Yeah, you just pick your guns and play. That's where the accessibility is probably easier. And then Valorant, yeah, that is probably the downside with hero shooters, and that eventually a meta will stick. If you let it stick too long, it's just boring to watch and play.
Going
Yeah.
off of what you said earlier, Harrison, about
Mhm.
trying to get a key.
Yeah,
How do you guys feel about this whole key dropping situation? Because I personally think it's really stupid. Like it's smart. It is really
It is.
smart business wise.
I was gonna say it's the
Everybody's
smartest
hyped.
thing.
Like people like you see if you go into Valorant on Twitch, it's drops
It's
enabled, key
oh
drops
my
enabled,
gosh,
get
yeah.
your keys in. Like there's so much hype about like one, I want to watch this game so I get the key.
hmm
And then, oh, if I keep watching, maybe I'll get the key. But as someone who I don't care about Valorant, looking outside, it's not necessarily scummy. It just feels kind of gross because
Hmm.
it's a very artificial way to get hype. Because you just have that like, oh, we're just a little more exclusive than normal type thing.
Oh, I see.
Because I like
Yeah.
some of the people I know they do have keys and they feel really lucky, and then some people don't, and they're just like, I'm still watching, I'm still waiting for a key.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a really good marketing. Like it's just really good marketing and how they get view like just because it's open beta, I think it's a very smart way of like getting views, getting exposure. And it's like, oh, I think the big thing is, oh, because it's so exclusive, it's like, oh, it's gonna get reported on because wow, this is a new way of getting into beta. Because technically you do still have a chance to get it, but because of the chance, it's not insured. But I will say, what's the difference with you trying to apply for an open beta and just waiting versus like this? I think it's kind of the same. So in how you get a key, because it's like one is like you register and you just kind of wait. Because I know some games you just wait and you actually end up not getting into that round. While on this one, in the meantime, you still watch the game. Not saying it's good for the viewer. I'm just saying like kind of the same in a sense for the business.
Mm.
Kind of.
I guess
I don't know
maybe
how to
it's
explain
coming
that
from
well.
a lot of the betas I've played.
hmm
The ones I can just remember off the top of my head, they were open.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, it's a huge difference in closed and open beta.
Yeah.
But with these closed betas, it just feels there's that subtext of them teasing you because you can watch gameplay.
hmm
Like if you had done a closed beta through email and you don't get a response, there's no other incentive to try,
Yeah.
and so you're kind of disassociated from the game. But with Valorant, it's you watch and you keep seeing the game, so you keep on playing the game
hmm
because you want that key. It just feels weird.
Hmm.
What do you have to say on that, Ian?
Uh, it like I'm interested to see what happens with it. Not necessarily to like I don't care if I get a key or not. So I guess to me that I don't really care about that. But in terms of like I do see what you're saying. I don't know that that might be like I don't know that that's I don't know that it's their intention to be scummy. It because like what if it's a situation where it's like we have we can only have like right now with our testing for like the beta we're only testing for this certain population of people
hmm
um or this amount of people, so we'll give these amount of keys away and it's like, well, who do we give them to? Well, let's make like a fun game out of it, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, and then the other thing is just popping off that it's like most of the time I would assume they would give it to streamers just because then streamers with good watch base or fan base, it helps gives that chance. But in like okay, so I guess my point is like there's a few streamers that I watch that like come from certain podcasts I listen to and they're kind of on the smaller end. But with this, they started gaining more people just
Mm.
because of like the hype behind it. And for them, it does help because they're oh, this is cool. I get more views. Sure,
Hmm.
it may like dissipate later, but some who knows? Maybe it does help them and get like increase their popularity.
Yeah, they're like
Yeah,
uh what is it, streamer base, fan
yeah,
base, I
stream
don't know,
base, yeah,
whatever.
viewer base, yeah,
This only comes from two streamers I've heard talk about this specifically.
hmm
Hmm.
That actually kind of sucks long term
yeah,
because a lot of the fans leave. Like
yeah.
most of them end up leaving. And especially if they're not partnered, Twitch looks at your long term viewer base. So
Uh,
if you have a huge spike and it drops, then that looks bad on your
that looks
record.
bad. Okay,
Oh, interesting.
okay. Yeah, I
Because
didn't know that.
Twitch wants to see continual growth. they hate seeing those kind of spikes.
Right.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. That's a
that,
big thing.
that's coming from two streamers
Uh,
who like they've they've had the struggles. Like they're both partner, but they've struggled with getting to that point. So that's one point. Um,
Hmm.
or it's a weird like because yeah, it does help streamers, but it tends to be a double edged sword that people kind of don't see.
Isn't that just streaming in general though?
What is?
It,
Like you kind of expect your view. Like I remember watching some interviews that they're gonna drop if they stop streaming, for instance, then they just lose viewer base because they had that idea of if I don't stream now, those people probably switch to someone else and I lose my viewer base. So it's kind of I
Oh.
think that just kind of comes with streaming.
Mm.
But yeah, I think that's a good point in this. The I didn't even think about how a pop in viewership can be a detriment.
yeah, and then that's also like it's just really disheartening to see because if your viewer count's at 20,000 and then for whatever reason, like it's open beta, people are playing, or it's not the thing anymore, and then you drop down to 3,000 again, it
Yeah.
feels really bad. Because like it
Yeah.
same thing like if we suddenly had an influx of 50,000 listeners for a
Mhm.
week, and then we drop down to like 1,000, we're like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd see that.
But I mean, isn't
That's
that
getting
kind
into
of
the weirdness
yeah,
of yeah.
just streaming
Do
and like
you? This is kind of going towards Harrison because I know you don't normally watch Twitch.
yeah.
How do you feel? Like, what if this becomes the new norm for just all betas in general? Like, you've got to get a key from a drop. Do you like that?
I mean, trying to think of how.
Because, like, let's say they've got a new Arkham Knight game,
Yeah,
and you want to play the beta, and it's like, well, you got to watch the stream. Would you do it?
probably. I might do it.
Okay.
Yeah,
See, I don't like that because a game like
but I mean,
that is more of a story
yeah, I was
game,
gonna say,
right?
but
And
like thinking about, it, I
so,
was like,
how
that's a
much of it are
story
you
game.
spoiling
Yeah,
yourself?
yeah. I was about. I was. That's what I was thinking about. I was like, well, it's a story game. Am I gonna really watch that stream? Probably not. If it's a stream of some, yeah, I guess it depends on the game. And I mean, that's just. I think it depends on the game for it to work because Valorant is like just like a
So
shooter. Like
if it was Destiny 3 beta, would you watch the
yeah.
stream? I'm trying to gauge like this and
Like, would
this
I
might
do it? Like, just would I
this
do
might
it?
end up being well, not
Yeah.
even if you would do it, like if this becomes the norm,
Yeah.
kind of what
Um,
to expect.
so I probably like look into it, like because exactly how this is happening. Like I heard about it. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's just check this out. Oh, they're dropping, or they're gonna possibly get beta drops if you like watch enough. Yeah, maybe. But I mean, I think right now with Valorant it's just because this is so new that right now I'm like, okay, cool. That's and then I mean it just comes with the quarantine that I'm working. This is just something cool to have in the background anyway, just to watch. If it were like how I think it's just with the circumstances, that's why I'm watching it. I don't know if I would normally. I wouldn't seek it out too much if that like the main things.
Okay.
Yeah. Main thing is I wouldn't really seek it out. I think just given the circumstance, I'm just watching it. I'm like, okay, if I get a beta code, cool.
Yeah.
I don't think it's in the end, like as a consumer, I don't think it's bad because I think it's just it's all to me, it's almost the same thing as me just applying for a beta key and hoping I get it. Because I've applied for a good amount of beta. Like I've applied, yeah. So I've applied for like ESO beta, like Elder Scrolls Online beta. I applied for like a lot of MMO betas, and most of the time I don't get it. But then
Yeah.
there are like a few times I'm like, oh, I do get it. Like I got the ESO beta randomly another time,
Mhm.
but it's almost like oh, I enter it same. It's kind of like the same thing. I just kind of wait.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
like, if it's like, "Hey, give us your email and your thing, and you will be entered into the possible beta thing," I'm like, "Okay, yeah, sure, I'll do that. That's fine.
yeah,
I don't care." But if I have to,
watch.
make myself watch a game to get it hope I get a drop, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
But that's just me. And this isn't the first game that's done this, I don't think. I think Magic: The Gathering did that with
Maybe.
some
Did they?
things, or I think they just gave Day9 some codes for packs or something. I don't remember, but
I was gonna say the codes like for streamers to give out, that's nothing new.
Yeah, like they've
Yeah.
always had incentives for
Yeah.
stuff like that.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's commission right there. But
But
no, I think the drop thing is new. Like I haven't heard anything like this before. That's why. I know people end up giving out codes, like you get a chance to get a code. That's nothing new. That's been like a thing for a while.
wasn't that what? It's the same thing, right?
But no, like the streamer has the choice of he has the codes, then he distributes it, from my understanding. While this one, you just kind of get it randomly. The streamer just has to have it to drop enabled, and you just have to watch them.
Yeah,
They
and
don't
just
choose when
ran-
Oh,
they don't choose
randomly.
when.
See,
Yeah.
okay.
And Twitch essentially is the one I think is the one that drops it. It's just
Gotcha.
they do have drops in other games, but it's never like it's always just like extra stuff like card pack or like because I know Hearthstone they have a drop thing too. I was watching one of the streamers and it had a drop enabled, but it was like you get a pack I think or something like that. So drops aren't new. It's just the beta key is different. I
Yeah,
think.
like access to the game itself
Access to the
is
game itself is different
the thing we're talking about.
than like drops for like a certain
I
game. Like
still think I remember that happening, but that might just be me. I don't know.
I mean, most of the time it is like the tried and true for most like streamers. I feel like is I have keys. Let's see who gets it type of thing.
Yeah, they just do a raffle.
They just do a raffle. Yeah,
But this is like hands off.
yeah.
Yeah, that is definitely new. I don't think
Yeah.
I've seen that happen.
Raffles
But-
raffles are nothing new, but I mean, I think it's it's cool to see like this is a new way of doing it. I don't know how I don't think it's going to be a huge.
I think if
thing.
people are looking for the publicity, it's an
Yeah.
easy thing to do.
It's an easy thing to do for like marketing is like hands down. This is like the smartest thing I've ever seen.
A publicity stunt, yeah. I think I'm in Luke's camp though, where I don't think I want to see this be the norm. Like I like if this becomes a norm, I
And
don't know. I wouldn't like
mean,
that.
I
But
think it only works for certain games. That's the thing. If it's like this kind of game, then yeah, sure, because it's not like
Right.
spoiling anything.
Right.
It's not. It's exclusive, but it's like, do I care enough? No. And I think for us, like us three specifically, is like, do we care enough? Probably not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
none of us
That's
really
the
care
main thing.
about.
It's not like,
betas and
oh my
stuff.
god, I need to have this. But I think it's a cool way. I think for me, it got me. The only reason why I say it's cool is because it actually got me to like watch more streams with it.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot more people. I mean, this is nothing new. Like a lot of streamers get early access to certain games, right? But this is actually making me watch them versus like, I'm streaming this just because I'm getting paid to. But
Yeah.
trying to remember what your original question was. Would I do it? No.
Yeah, just like do you think this will become the new norm?
New norm. It could be for these kind of games. I don't know how to describe these kind of games all of a sudden. Like
I think part of it will depend on how well Valorant does, because
that too.
a lot of companies I think are looking to Riot to see how they can market their game better.
Like if this markets well and people actually still continue to play it, because right now it's like it's always the thing of are they just playing this just because it's the new thing? It'll
Yeah.
get them some views and they're sponsored, so they'll pay for it and they'll play it type of thing.
Yeah.
End of the day, it's just it's all marketing. So
Gross.
you say gross.
It is. It's pretty gross.
That's
I
all
think
I
it's all-
have to
I-
say about that. It is
Oh.
gross. No, I'll just say it's kind of scummy. It's smart, super smart. It just doesn't feel
Yeah,
like
it's only-
closed betas to me are becoming, I think, less and less of an issue, because like this is kind of looking at it realistically. Riot would never have an issue limit testing a server.
No.
Like,
Yeah.
we need to see if what happens if 5,000 people are on the server.
No,
They
yeah.
can replicate that super easy. Or we need to see about 50 million or something.
Yeah.
Partly it's really easy to just spoof a server and be like, hey, pretend there's 50,000 people, 50 million.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think it's super apparent that this Valorant's closed beta specifically is just a marketing stunt.
It's all marketing. Yeah,
100%.
100%.
Yeah.
Because most games want open betas, I feel like, because they want as many people as possible to play the game.
And
and
that's marketing in itself. Yeah, that's like that lets people that's exposure, lets people like get
Yeah, it's
introduced to the
this weird
game.
artificiality that rubs me the wrong way about Valorant.
Mm. I can understand that.
Yeah.
It's
I think it's only funny because I'm taking a social media class and this kind of rubs again like goes along with that. So to
Mm.
me, it's I don't see an issue too much, but that's also just because it's early on right now.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
think with like marketing and stuff like that, it's all about the like. There's a little bit of like, what's the intention and how are you going about doing it? And I think if you come across as artificial um and like only care about the exposure and the money and the publicity, I think people like pick up on that pretty quick and they kind of like go away from that. And it also depends on like if like how subtle it is too, right?
Yeah.
But and then I think the opposite happens, whereas if it's, I think that's why you have some games that are indie games that just kind of explode out of nowhere, because most of the time indie developers aren't like cash grabbing, right? They're like,
Mhm.
hey, I made
Yeah.
this cool like passion project,
Yeah.
and people can sense that and they're like, oh yeah, I want to support this.
Yeah, I think what you guys said, at the end of the day, it really depends on the game. Like,
Mhm.
this kind of thing doesn't work with the narrative-driven game or
Yeah. No way.
Yeah.
some type of single-player thing. But
Mhm. Like I see this as like a lot of like what are these kind of games called? Oh my god, I can't think of it. It's like, for instance, if League did it, sure, I can see that. Like MOBAs did it, sure. Like shooters, competitive shooters, sure. Like
like if it's
repetitive
a game,
gameplay,
if
repetitive
it's a
gameplay.
game as a service, I can definitely see
Yeah,
that.
yeah, like that
Yeah,
kind of thing. I can see it. Yeah,
for sure. Cool.
cool.
Cool. That's all I really have to say about that. So, for real this time.
For real, yeah, for real this time. Sorry.
Do you guys have any other closing thoughts?
Just as a thing I saw just now, Luke, this is completely irrelevant. Shadowbringers is on sale right now. Just so you know, Final Fantasy Shadowbringers on
Going
sale.
back to what we talked about last time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
They're on sale.
I think it's been on sale.
because I remember if our editor mentioned it was 40% off the last time we recorded.
Oh yeah, you're right. He did.
He did, yeah.
Come
One
on,
day
man.
we'll actually play Final
Once things get back to normal and I have a job that pays me more than $6 an hour,
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
probably get it.
Is I forget. Is it subscription or no? I
It's
forget.
subscription.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you're paying for like the base game and then a monthly subscription.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I mean, especially with Final Fantasy, super off topic. Final Fantasy is, I think, the best MMO right now. That's no question to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It'd definitely be worth any money I put into it.
for sure. Well, that's my closing thought. So
Closing thought. This is on sale.
Yeah, give me a key drop for Shadowbringers and we'll check it out.
Dude, hell yeah.
All right. Thank you everybody for listening. This is SuperBoss Podcast. You can catch us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that, just SuperBoss Podcast. I think we're signing off. You guys have anything else?
And if you have any like questions or like you want to like remark on anything,
Yeah,
you
let us
can
know
also
about
email
our
us.
stupid ideas. Let us know that we sound
Yeah.
bad. Let us know that we sound good.
Mm-hmm.
Please
You
let us
can
know.
reach out. You can actually reach out to superbossfeedback@gmail.com. That also helps. Just because social media is fun, you know.
right.
Not so subtle marketing.
Marketing.
We do though. We do definitely appreciate everyone who listens. So
We really do.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody.
we'll see you later.
Later.